Dear students, welcome to online classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in computer science, gsipucmysuru College, MYSURU. Students, in our previous session, we were discussing about selection construct or selective constructs. Today, we will start our session with multiple selection construct under selection construct. So, what is multiple selection construct? It is switch case or switch statement or switch construct. It is called as multiple selection construct. When we are using this, where there are more than one alternative to be selected, we are using this switch case or switch construct, and it is multiple selection construct. The syntax of switch case statement is like this. First, switch, either is a word, switch, and here we have an expression. This is an expression. Then open this switch case here. Then under this we have different alternatives. We are using that with case label 1, for example, colon, and here we have to open this bracket, and here we have to write the statement 1 semicolon, and here we have break statement semicolon, closing this. After this, again we have to start with second case label 2 colon, and open this bracket here, and here is statement 2 break statement, and closing this. Similarly, you can have n number of cases here. So here I can write here case label n, here statement n semicolon, and break statement, close this, and last statement or last case will be, it is called as default case. This is default case, and here open this bracket, and here we are writing statement or statements, and closing this. Then we have to close this switch case. So student, this is the syntax of switch case, or it's also called as switch choice. So it is a multiple selective construct, and here when we are using this, if there are more than one alternative, here in this example label 1 is alternative, label 2 is second alternative. Similarly, you can have n number of labels, all these are different alternative, and last one is default case, or we say default statement. So here default colon, then we are using the statement or statement, and finally we have to close this switch case here. So this is the beginning of switch case, and we are closing switch case here. So this is switch case. In the syntax, switch is the reserved word, expression, this is any arithmetic expressions or logical expressions. So the result of this, it will be compared with case. Here case is the reserved word, and here you can have number of values, and this label values can always be integer type or character type. The value of the label will be always of type integer or character data type. So this is the values of labels. Similarly, you can have n number of labels, case label 1, and here colon, open this bracket, and here we are writing the statement or statements. You can have more number of statements here. Last one would be break statement. So this is a break statement semicolon, then we are closing this bracket. So this is case label 1. Similarly, you can, this is here case label 2. See, this is another set of statements to be executed. Similarly, you can have n number of cases, and last one is default. Suppose the result of the expression, it doesn't match with any of these label values. I repeat, students, the result of this expression does not match with any of the label values here, then it goes to, or it executes default statement, or the statements written under the default case will be executed. Then we are closing the switch case here, and here we are using break statement here. This break statement is called a jump statement. It used to come out of switch case. It enters switch case here, so it checks for the label 1 or case label 1. So the result of this is matches with this value. It executes the statements within this brackets. Then because of break statement here, it will come out of this switch case and goes to next statements after switch case. Suppose if in this example, if the expression, the result of the expression doesn't match with 1, then it goes to next case or case label 2. If the result of the expression is matches with case label 2 or value of label 2, it executes the statement and comes out of switch case. So similarly, so every time the result of the expression will be compared with different label values here. Then if doesn't match, if none of the case is matches with the result of the expression, then it executes default case or the statements under default case. Then we have to come out of switch case. This is the syntax of switch case or switch choice construct. Now let us see the flow chart of this. Flow chart. This is an expression. Here you can have n number of labels. Label 3, and this is default label. Here statement 1, and similarly statement 2, statement 3, and again this is statement 4 or default statement. Then this is, after executing this, it will come out of switch case statement here. This is a flow chart to represent the switch case construct. Here this is the expression, different labels, case labels 1, case label 2, case label 3, and last one is default case. The result of the expression is matches with label 1 or value of the label 1. It executes the statements and comes out of switch case here. Similarly, the result of the expression matches with label 2. it executes the statement, then comes out of switch case here. If the result of the expression doesn't match with any of these labels, label 1, label 2 and label 3, it executes default case or statements under default case. So this is the flowchart for switch case construct. Now let us see one example for the same. Day of the week, day number, given day number. So the program is to display day of the week when the day numbers values are given. 7 days a week, you can write here Sunday, Monday like this, Tuesday and Saturday, and you will be given a number for Sunday 1, 2, 3 and for Saturday it is 7. So the program is, you will be given the numbers, so accordingly we have to print the day of the week. Suppose if the expression, the result of the expression is 1, it's supposed to print Sunday. If it is 3, it's supposed to print Tuesday. And if the number what you are going to enter is 7 or the result of the expression is 7, it's supposed to print the output as Saturday. So this is the program. The program is to print day of the week when numbers are given, day numbers are given. Let us write the program construct for the same. The construct start with a reserved word switch, and here is the expression, and here day number can be anything from 1 to 7, and here then open the switch case here. Next start with case label. Here label value is 1. So if the value is 1, we supposed to print Sunday. It is print Sunday semicolon. Then we have to use break statement semicolon, close this. Next case 2 semicolon, open the bracket. We have to write here print Monday semicolon, break statement, close this case. Case 3 colon, here print Tuesday, close the quote, semicolon, break, semicolon, closes case 3, case 4 colon, print Wednesday, semicolon, break, colon, case 5 colon, we have to write print Thursday, semicolon, break, close this, case 5 here. Next we'll continue here. Case 6 colon, print Friday, colon, semicolon, break, close this, case 6. Case 7, here is print Saturday, break statement, semicolon, and here default case, we have to say default case, we have to print invalid day number, semicolon, break, semicolon. After this, we have to close switch case here. This is closing switch case at the end. So this is beginning of a switch case and a closing switch case here. So this is a program construct to print this day of the week when given day number. Here, as I told you, switch is a reserved word and this is an expression. Here, this expression results in values. If it's going to execute the statement where it matches any of the case labels or that particular case labels will be executed. In this example, day number, if day number is 1, it enters this switch case and check for the value 1. 1 is matching with 1 here. It executes the statement. So it prints Sunday. Then because of break statement, it comes out of switch case here. Similarly, suppose if a day number is 2, first it enters the loop here. It checks for the value. 2 is not equal to this. It goes to next case. 2 is matching with this case here. It executes this statement. Accordingly, it prints Monday, and because of break statement, comes out of switch case. So similarly, so it depends on the day number or the expression. It is going to compare this result with these case values or case labels. Suppose if the day number doesn't match with any of the case labels. In this example, we supposed to, or the result supposed to be 1 to 7. If result is other than this number, for example 8. First, if the result is 8, here 8 is not matching with either this or any other case here. So because of that, it enters default case or it executes the default case and it prints the answer as invalid day number. So then comes out of switch case. So this is a program construct. We are using it when there are multiple selections are to be executed or where there are more than one selections can be executed. Then we have to make use of this switch case program construct. Students, next we move on to one more construct, that is iterative constructs. Next we will look into iterative constructs or looping constructs or looping construct. In many examples, we may have to repeat few of the statements in a program. So we may have to repeat set of statements until some logical condition is satisfied. Students, in some cases or in some programs, we may have to repeat few program statements for specified number of times. That is called as iterative construct or iteration. So here this repetition of statements until some condition is satisfied and some conditions is satisfied is called iterative statement. It is also called as looping construct. If there are few statements to be repeated in a program, then we have to make use of these iterative constructs or looping construct. The process of repeating the statements until some condition is satisfied is called iterative statements or repetition of statements or looping construct. In looping construct, there are two types. They are conditional looping, and second one is unconditional looping. There are two types of looping construct or iterative construct. One is conditional looping or unconditional looping. Conditional looping is the one it repeats set of statements until some condition is satisfied, and the number of iteration or repetition is not known in advance. So that is a conditional looping. What is conditional looping? Here again it repeats set of statements until some condition is satisfied. But in this type of looping structure, the number of repetitions or number of iterations is not known in advance. That is conditional looping. Here while construct, second one is do while construct, and second one is do while construct. These are conditional looping. Now what is unconditional looping? Unconditional looping, it also repeats set of statements until some condition is satisfied. And here the number of iteration or repetition is known in advance. That is the difference between conditional and unconditional looping, and both of them are looping structure, but here both of them are repeating number of statements until some condition is satisfied. But only difference is that under conditional looping, it is the number of iterations or repetition is not known in advance, but in unconditional looping, it is number of iterations is known in advance. While and do while construct are conditional looping, and here for construct is unconditional looping. Now let us discuss these three looping structures with syntax, flowchart and example. Students, now before we working out or before we learning this repetitive construct or looping construct, the user must be knowing the following things. That is, first one is initialization. or starting value or starting number. Second one is increment or decrement, increment or decrement. Next one is the condition. Next one is the condition or the final value. In order to write a program construct with looping structure, the user must be aware of following things. Here one is starting point or starting value, next one is end value, and in between either increment or decrement. For example, students, if I ask you write numbers, normally what will you do? The question is very vague question. Many of you can write different numbers, and how many times what number you are going to write, that is confusion. So to avoid that, suppose if I change the question, instead of that, if I ask you to write 5 numbers, then in that case you can write any numbers, anything, it can be any 5 numbers. Or some student, he may write some other's number like this, or some of you can write some other numbers. So if I ask you to write just you say numbers, the questions will be very vague questions, so it is not very clear. Suppose if I ask you to write any 5 numbers, you can write like this. Write numbers from 1 to 5. Then what will you do? Generally you can write the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here the question is very clear. If I ask you to write numbers from 1 to 5, all of you will write the same answer, isn't it? If any teachers ask you to write imposition 5 times, then you will be writing the imposition number first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. So there is a meaning for this. Write even numbers from 2 to 10. Then what will you do? You will write 2. Even numbers, you write like this: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Write multiples of 5. Then you can write here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So in this example, this is your starting point and this is your end point here. You are ending at this stage. This is starting point. In this example, starting is 1. You will start with 1 and you will end at 5. Similarly, in this example, starting number is 2 and ending number is 10. And in this example, start number is 5 and last value is 25. And in between, I have used the word here increment or decrement. In this example, initialization or starting. So this is your initialization or starting value. And condition or final value. In all this example, 5 is the last value, it is a condition, and here 25 is the last value or the condition. So how long you are going to continue? From starting from 1, the end value. In between, we have either increment or decrement. Here, in this example, this is plus 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. In this, if you look at this example here, there is a constant increase of value by 1. This is increment by 1. In this example, 2, here plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So in this example, there is a constant increment by 2. So here is, this is increment by 2. In this example, if you look into this, here is plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 5 is 20, and plus 5 is 25. So here a constant increment in the value by 5. So here this is increment. Here increment by 1, increment by 2, increment by 5. Number from 10 to 5. What you are going to do? Here you start with 10, then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So it is here in this example, this is your starting value and this is your end value or final value. In between we are having decrement because this is 10 minus 1, again minus 1 here 8, minus 1 is 7, minus 1 is 5 and minus 1 is 5. So here a constant decrement by minus 1. Whenever we are working out or whenever we are using the construct, the user must be knowing these three things: initialization or starting value, or the final value or the condition, and it is increment or decrement. Here what is the meaning of condition here? If asked to write from 1 to 5, here this is a condition. You will not write after 5, you will stop at 5. So this is the condition. So you are writing the numbers from 1 to 5 until the condition 5 is satisfied, less than or equal to 5. If asked to write from 2 to 10, 10 is the condition. You will continue to write from 2 up to 10 or less than or equal to 10. You will not write 12 here because I have told you to write only from 2 to 10. See in this example 5 to 25, 25 is the condition, and in this example value is last value, final value is 5. You will start writing from 10 up to 5. You will not write 4 because I have told you the condition is up to 5. So in any of the looping structure, the programmer or the user must be knowing these three things to work with looping structure. Let me continue this in my next session. Thank you very much.